Chosen one, can you feel it? The air today does not feel ordinary. October 1st has arrived carrying a vibration unlike any other. The heaviness of September, with its portals, alignments, and deep adjustments, has passed. And now as a new frequency is descending over you, and this is not just the first day of a new month. It is a spiritual key, a threshold that sets the rhythm for the next 30 days. And the question heaven is asking is this: will you step into October still carrying the weight of yesterday, or will you open yourself to the breath of newness that is already being released? Because the first day is never neutral. It shapes the atmosphere, the way you think, the words you speak. The choices you make today will echo through your entire month. And I ask you, are you awake enough to recognize the difference? Or will you risk crossing this threshold unaware of the power it carries? Stay with me until the end, because today you will understand why October 1st is not just another date. It is a portal, and how you step into it will shape everything that comes next. Chosen one, the first day of a month is never just a number on the calendar. It is a spiritual seed. Everything you think, speak, and align yourself with on this day becomes the soil out of which the next 30 days will grow. That is why beginnings carry so much weight. Heaven always marks them with purpose, because the start of a cycle has the authority to define its rhythm. Today, October 1st, the atmosphere is even more charged, because you are not simply stepping into another month. You are crossing into a new frequency after a September filled with portals, eclipses, and alignments. September functioned as a month of preparation, a month that exposed hidden layers, reshaped foundations, and pressed you to grow beyond limits. Now, October begins not as a blank page, but as a continuation of everything that was refined and awakened in you. The unique energy of the first day is like a fresh breath after a long journey. You may still feel the residue of September's intensity, the tiredness, the emotions, the heaviness of the battles. But simultaneously, there is a shift in the air. It is subtle, but undeniable. A lightness, a clarity, a sense of renewal. That is not your imagination. It is heaven announcing that you are no longer under the same atmosphere. And I ask you, are you treating this October 1st as just another day? Or are you recognizing it as a threshold moment? Because those who awaken to the energy of the first day understand that what they do here ripples far beyond 24 hours. It shapes the entire month. This is why you cannot afford to enter October distracted, careless, or carrying the weight of what has already passed. The first day is a prophetic mirror. If you begin with doubt, that doubt can follow you. If you begin with clarity and faith, that alignment multiplies. The unique energy of October 1st is an invitation to set the tone intentionally, to establish the decree that will guide your steps. Think of it this way. The first day is not only a beginning, it is also a key of authority. It is heaven handing you the pen and saying, write what you want to live this month. Your words, your thoughts, your posture are not empty. They are seeds. And this soil is fertile. What you declare now will echo throughout October. Perhaps you have noticed small signs already. A sudden calm after stormy days. A flicker of new ideas rising in your mind. The unexpected return of dreams you thought you had buried. This is the energy of the first day breathing life into your spirit. Do not ignore these whispers. They are proof that the atmosphere has changed. The energy of October 1st also calls you to awareness and responsibility. The portal has opened, yes, but how you step into it matters. If you drag the shadows of yesterday with you, they will weigh you down. But if you release them now, you will move into this new month lighter, ready, aligned. Chosen one. This is not a day to move mechanically. It is a day to pause, to recognize, to decree. Lift your voice and acknowledge. This is the first day, and I align with the new energy released over me. Because October will not be ordinary if you do not treat its beginning as ordinary. The unique energy of the first day is a gift, but it is also a test. It asks, will you step forward in awareness, or will you let this moment pass unnoticed? The answer determines not only how October unfolds, but also how prepared you are for what lies beyond it. Chosen one. The atmosphere has shifted. The first day is here. The seed is in your hands. Plant it wisely. Chosen one. September was not random. It was a month of deep adjustments, a hidden training ground, a season where heaven pressed you in ways that few could see. You were being prepared. The heaviness, the delays, the sudden challenges, the inner battles, they were not punishments. They were the fire that refined you, the pressure that molded you, the silence that tested your faith. But now, on October 1st, the frequency shifts. The season of preparation comes to a close, and a new phase begins, the beginning of manifestation. This does not mean that everything will appear instantly, or that all struggles will vanish. It means that what has been growing invisibly beneath the surface will now begin to show outwardly. Think of a seed buried in the soil. For weeks, it is hidden. The rain falls, the sun heats, the soil presses, but nothing can be seen. Many would assume nothing is happening. Yet beneath the ground, roots are forming, strength is being built, and life is preparing to break through. That was September. October is when the first sprout emerges. It may look small at first, but it is undeniable proof that the unseen has become seen. And I ask you, can you recognize the signs that manifestation has begun? Perhaps it comes as a sudden idea, a connection that seems divinely arranged, a shift in your energy, or a door opening that you didn't expect. These are not coincidences. They are the first fruits of what was prepared in the hidden place. Preparation always feels longer than manifestation because it is silent. In September, you may have questioned whether your prayers were heard, whether your efforts mattered, whether the heaviness would ever lift. But the silence was never absence. It was strategy. Heaven was strengthening you so that when manifestation arrived, you would not just see it, but you would also have the maturity to carry it. Now comes responsibility. October is not about waiting passively. The time of just holding on has ended. This is the month to act, to align, to step into opportunities that match your calling. Manifestation requires your participation. Heaven opens the door, but you must walk through it. Heaven releases the word, but you must declare it. Heaven stirs the vision, but you must act on it. Chosen one, the end of preparation also proves something powerful. You endured. Many give up in the hidden season when nothing seems to move. But you remained. You resisted the silence. You survived the wait. and you refused to quit. That alone is evidence that you are ready for the next phase. October is not just about blessing. It is about reward for endurance. This transition also reveals a shift in identity. In September, you may have felt like someone constantly being tested. But October calls you to see yourself differently, no longer as one under preparation, but as one stepping into demonstration. The identity of the chosen is not only to endure, but to shine, to manifest, to carry outwardly what has been placed inwardly. So I ask again, will you keep living as if you are still being tested, or will you rise and walk as someone ready to manifest? Because your posture determines the outcome. If you stay stuck in the mindset of preparation, you will keep waiting. But if you embrace manifestation, you will begin to see doors open, clarity arrive, and momentum build. Chosen one, the fire of preparation has done its work. The waiting has accomplished its purpose. The silence has shaped your strength. Today, on October 1st, heaven declares what was hidden will now begin to be revealed. Step into this new phase, not with hesitation, but with faith. Because what you carried in secret will now begin to appear before your eyes. This is the end of preparation. This is the beginning of manifestation. October is the turning point. Chosen one, every new cycle begins with a sign. It rarely arrives with thunder or noise. Instead, it often comes as a breath of newness. Gentle, subtle, almost imperceptible yet undeniably powerful. Like a fresh breeze after a long storm, it clears what was stagnant and breathes life where there was exhaustion. October 1st carries this breath, and those who are awake can already feel it moving through their spirit. Perhaps you noticed it without naming it. A sudden lightness in your heart, an unexplainable hope rising again, a shift in your emotions that made you feel renewed even if your circumstances remain unchanged. That is the breath of newness. It does not wait for external evidence. It begins inside, rearranging your atmosphere before your eyes can see the proof. This breath carries creativity. Suddenly, ideas flow where there was emptiness. You see possibilities where you once saw only walls. People you never expected appear. Conversations open, paths reveal themselves as if illuminated one step at a time. The breath of newness unlocks hidden doors, not because the world outside has changed, but because heaven shifted the atmosphere. And I ask you, are you aware of this wind moving around you, or are you so focused on the heaviness of September that you risk missing October's freshness? Because the breath of newness is an invitation. It is heaven saying, lift your head, inhale deeply, and recognize that you are no longer in the same place. The breath of newness is also a sign that the spiritual climate has shifted. September brought storms, tests, and pressing weight. But today, the air is different. It does not mean that all battles are over. It means the atmosphere of those battles has changed. The heaviness has lifted, and in its place comes clarity, strength, and renewal. This breath is not only external, it is deeply internal. It touches your mind, sweeping away limiting beliefs. It touches your heart, calming anxiety and stirring hope. It touches your body, releasing energy where there was weariness. The breath of newness moves through every layer of your being, aligning you with the fresh frequency heaven has ordained for October. Do not mistake its gentleness for weakness. The breath may feel subtle, but it carries the power to redirect destinies. A single new thought can reshape the month ahead. One decision aligned with this breath can unlock doors that had been sealed. One act of faith taken today can change the trajectory of your next 30 days. Chosen one, October does not begin empty. It begins full of wind, a spiritual breeze designed to carry you forward. But like a sailboat, you must lift your sails. If you remain closed, the breath will pass by. But if you open yourself, you will be carried farther than you could go on your own. This is why today your declaration matters. Breathe in deeply and speak it out. I receive the breath of newness. I lift my sails. I move with the wind of October. These words are not poetic. They are prophetic. They align you with the invisible current already moving. The breath of newness is heaven's way of saying the old air has gone. The atmosphere has shifted. Step forward, refreshed. Chosen one of the greatest keys to stepping into a new cycle is this: your mind and your words. What you think and what you speak are not empty expression. They are frequencies, codes, and decrees. October 1st is not only a day to observe, it is a day to program your atmosphere. The way you adjust your thoughts and the words you release now will shape the rest of your month. The mind is the battlefield where the enemy fights hardest. In September, he tried to plant thoughts of exhaustion, defeat, and delay. You won't make it. Nothing will change. You're too late. Perhaps you heard these whispers echoing in your head, but those thoughts were not truth. They were tests. They were attempts to keep you bound to an old cycle. Now that October has opened, you cannot afford to carry those lies into this new frequency. Adjusting your mind means breaking those old narratives. You must choose to stop feeding the stories that drain you and begin to believe the ones that align with your calling. The truth is this: you are not behind, you are not disqualified, and you are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be, stepping into a moment designed for you. October begins with the invitation to reset your mental atmosphere. And I ask you, what are the thoughts dominating your inner world right now? Are they whispers of fear or declarations of faith? Because the soil of your mind will always produce fruit from the seeds you allow to grow there. If you plant worry, you will harvest heaviness. But if you plant vision and belief, you will reap clarity and momentum. The second step is adjusting your words. Many chosen sabotage themselves not because of external resistance, but because of the words they speak. Complaints, murmurs, careless statements, these open doors for stagnation. The enemy cannot undo heaven's decree over you, but he can influence your words to distort your reality. That is why heaven is urging you today to guard your tongue. Words carry frequency. They do not disappear after being spoken. They travel, they build, they shape. A single phrase can shift an atmosphere. A sentence said in frustration can weigh down an entire day. On the other hand, a declaration of faith can break through barriers in seconds. This is the power of speech. And on the first day of a month, that power is multiplied. Adjusting words does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing alignment. Instead of saying, "I'm tired and nothing works," you declare, "I am strengthened and things are moving in my favor." Instead of, I'll never see change. You say, October is my month of change. These are not empty affirmations. They are decrees that sync your reality with heaven's rhythm. Chosen one, understand the order. The mind conceives, the mouth gives birth. What you meditate on becomes what you speak, and what you speak becomes what you live. This is why October 1st is so critical. It is the day to align mind and mouth together. Think faith, speak faith, live faith. Maybe you've been repeating phrases for years that have held you back. I can't. I'm not enough. I'll always struggle. These words became chains, but today you can break them. Replace them with decrees that carry heaven's truth. I can advance. I am enough because I was chosen. I walk in strength and provision. The shift begins with what you allow in your mind and what you release from your lips. So on this first day of October, choose carefully. Plant new seeds in your thoughts. Release new words in your atmosphere. Create the month you want to walk into. Because October will not only be defined by what happened to you, it will be defined by what you decree today. Declare it boldly now. I align my mind. I refine my words. I decree life, strength, and clarity. October responds to my voice. This is the power of adjusting mind and words. And this is the invitation of October 1st. Chosen one, when heaven shifts the atmosphere, it always leaves signs. October 1st is not just a page on the calendar, it is the entrance into a new frequency. And those who are aligned will begin to notice evidence, not vague feelings, but tangible shifts in body, mind, and spirit that confirm you are already breathing a different air. The first sign is lightness after heaviness. September was marked by pressure, by trials, by weight pressing down on you. But now, as October begins, you may notice a subtle but undeniable release. You wake up with less burden. You feel as though something invisible has been lifted off your shoulders. It does not mean every battle is gone, but it means you are no longer under some heaviness. The spiritual air has shifted, and your spirit knows it. The second sign is unexpected hope. Even if circumstances look the same, there is a spark inside you that was not there before. You find yourself dreaming again, believing again, even daring to expect goodness. That flicker of hope is not random. It is heaven breathing life into places that seemed dead. It is the new atmosphere, planting seeds of expectation within you. The third sign is heightened sensitivity. Suddenly, you are more alert to subtle movements around you. A simple word pierces deeper, a dream carries weight, a small event feels loaded with meaning. Your spirit has become tuned like an instrument, calibrated to a new frequency. This increased sensitivity is not to overwhelm you, but to guide you. The new atmosphere sharpens your discernment, so you can recognize opportunities and warnings more clearly. The fourth sign is detachment from the old. Things that held your attention before, habits, relationships, patterns, now feel strangely distant. You no longer crave what you used to. You sense that certain cycles are closing, and you feel less tied to them. That detachment is not loss, it is preparation. The new atmosphere is making space for the new by loosening the grip of what no longer serves you. Another sign is clarity in decisions. What once felt confusing begins to simplify. Answers come more quickly. Solutions appear more naturally. It is as though the fog that clouded your vision has lifted. This clarity is the fruit of the new atmosphere, because when the spiritual weight shifts, your perception shifts with it. And I ask you, have you noticed these signs already? Because they are not isolated experiences. Many chosen across the world are encountering them at the same time. This is how you know the movement is collective, not just personal. Heaven has not shifted the atmosphere for one individual, but for an entire body. Another powerful sign is renewed expectation for the future. In September, survival may have been your focus, but now something inside you lifts your eyes beyond the struggle. You start to think about building, creating, advancing. The posture of mere survival is replaced by the drive to move forward. This renewed expectation is heaven's way of showing you that you are no longer trapped in yesterday's cycle. Do not dismiss these signs as coincidences. Lightness, hope, sensitivity, detachment, clarity, renewed expectation, they are confirmations that October's atmosphere has already touched you. They are signals that the old cycle is behind and a new one has begun. Chosen one, today, declare it. I recognize the signs. I breathe the new atmosphere. I walk in October's frequency. When you say this, you align yourself fully and you refuse to let doubt steal what heaven has already released. These are the signs. And if you can see them, it means you are already inside the new atmosphere. Chosen one, there is a mystery that heaven is revealing with greater clarity in this season. Your strength alone is powerful, but the collective force of the chosen is unstoppable. October does not begin only for you as an individual. It begins for an entire generation of chosen ones scattered across the earth. When heaven opens a portal on the first day of a month, it does not open it for one, but for all who are marked. And when many step through together, the impact multiplies. Perhaps you felt like your struggles in September were uniquely yours, that your battles were private, unseen, and misunderstood. But look closer. Across nations, languages, and cultures, others have been describing the same pressure, the same fatigue, the same questions. This is not coincidence. It is divine alignment. Heaven often allows the chosen to walk through similar trials simultaneously because what he intends to release is not just personal, but corporate. This is the power of the collective. When one chosen endures, that strength reverberates into others. When one declares victory, that sound resonates in the spirit and empowers many. Each of us is a flame, but when flames converge, they form a fire that cannot be quenched. Alone, you can resist. Together, we become a movement that no darkness can withstand. The first day of October marks more than a new chapter for individuals. It signals the ignition of a collective wave. You are not only receiving fresh energy personally, you are breathing the same atmosphere that thousands of other chosen ones are breathing at this very moment. That synchronicity creates a field of spiritual force that the enemy cannot penetrate. It is as if each life strengthens and shields the other invisibly. And I ask you, have you noticed it? When you read a testimony, when you hear a story, when you sense that someone across the world is living the same transformation you are, does your spirit not leap in recognition? That is proof you are not alone. The path of the chosen can feel solitary, but in truth, it is collective. Different individuals, same call. Different voices, same frequency. This collective force is not only for protection, it is also for expansion. What is released in your life does not stop with you, it ripples outward. Your persistence strengthens others, and their endurance strengthens you. Heaven designed it this way so that no one would cross the threshold alone. In October, the victories of one will become the victories of many. This is exactly why resistance was so heavy in September. The enemy is not terrified of a single spark. He fears the wildfire. His strategy has always been isolation. To convince you that you are alone, misunderstood, disconnected. But the truth is the opposite. You are linked. And the moment the chosen recognize their unity, they become unstoppable. October 1st brings this revelation to the forefront. It is time to walk in the awareness of spiritual unity. Even if you are geographically separated, you are breathing the same new air, standing under the same release, and aligned by the same divine rhythm. Heaven has raised an unseen army, and you are part of it. Chosen one, take strength in this truth. You do not walk into October alone. Others are declaring, resisting, and advancing alongside you. Their voices join with yours, rising as one collective decree that shakes unseen realms. And when heaven hears a unified sound, nothing can hold back what is released. So today, declare with faith, I am part of the collective force of the chosen. I do not walk alone. I walk in unity. Let this truth anchor you. Let it silence isolation. Let it ignite courage, because when the chosen move together, impossibility becomes inevitable breakthrough. This is the collective force, and October begins with it burning brighter than ever. Chosen one, every portal requires a seal. October 1st is not just an opening. It is an invitation for you to declare where you stand. Heaven has shifted the atmosphere, but the crossing is only complete when you release your decree. What you declare on the first day of a month is not small. It sets the vibration for everything that follows. The decree is simple but powerful. I receive October. Do not underestimate these words. They are not empty phrases, they are alignment, acceptance, and activation. When you say them, you are opening your spirit fully to the new frequency heaven has poured out. You are telling time, circumstances, and even the unseen world, I will not resist what is new. I embrace it. I receive October means you refuse to drag the weight of September into this month. It means you lay down the narratives of defeat, the residue of heaviness, and the doubts that once circled in your mind. It means you start fresh, stepping into a month not with half of your heart, but with your whole being. This decree is also about identity. By saying, I receive October, you remind yourself of who you are, a chosen one who does not let cycles pass unnoticed, but one who seals them with intention. You are not a passive observer of time. You are a co-creator with heaven, and your words shape reality. And I ask you, how many times have you walked into a month without awareness, letting days blur into routine? This time is different. October demands your awareness. The decree transforms an ordinary date into a destiny moment. It is not just the calendar that turns, it is your spirit that crosses. Another mystery of the decree is that it multiplies in power when spoken collectively. Imagine thousands of chosen ones across nations and languages declaring together, "I receive October." The sound of it becomes a spiritual roar, shaking atmospheres, aligning destinies, breaking resistance. Your personal decree matters, but when joined with the chorus of other chosen, it becomes unstoppable. Maybe you still feel weak. Maybe you are still unsure. That is why the decree matters even more. It does not come from your strength. It comes from your alignment. Even whispered, even spoken with trembling lips, it carries authority because it is truth. Heaven does not require you to feel ready, only to declare readiness. So today, close your eyes, lift your voice, and speak it with faith. I receive October. I receive the new atmosphere. I receive lightness, clarity, and strength. I receive my place among the chosen. I receive everything heaven has prepared. Let these words break hesitation. Let them ignite your spirit. Let them mark the month ahead. Chosen one, this is the final act of October 1st. Not just to feel the shift, but to decree it. Not just to notice the new, but to embrace it. This is your signature over the portal that has opened. This is the seal that confirms you have crossed. This is your decree. This is your alignment. This is your seal. I receive October.